Good evening. Welcome to today's lesson on graphical work. With me here is a table that has already been given where we'll be having length. We have time t for 20 oscillations, and we have a small place, or we have some missing gaps. Then the first question requires you to complete the table. Then for you to complete the table, then you must use your calculator properly, and then you are given that this is time for 20 oscillations. Then you ask yourself, what will be the period? So you take 17.66, you divide by 20, and you're going to have 0.8830. If you square this one, then you'll arrive at 0.7797. This one, you also repeat the same process. You'll get 0.8530, and this one will be 0.7277. This one will be 0.7685. When it is squared, 0.5906. Remember, you are supposed to record to 4 significant figures. This one will be 0.7. That is an exact number, but you can bring it to 4 SF. You add 3 zeros like that. Then when it is squared, it becomes 0.49. For SF, you top up with 2 zeros in that manner. The next one is 0.6395. When it is squared, you get 0.4090. The last one, we have 0.5515, and this is 0.3042. This one is awarded 2 marks. That one is awarded 2 marks. Then we move to the next question, which will be plot a graph of t squared against x. Then you are awarded 5 marks. In this case, you need to pick your graph, and you strictly follow the rules that are required when you are drawing a graph. So now I produce my graph paper in this manner. Then I will draw the first thing, which is the axis, and draw the first thing, which will be our axis. Both the x and the y. The second thing is to label this axis. The y-axis is having t squared. it is in S seconds. The x-axis is having length, which is denoted as x, and it is given in centimeters. Now, from this place now, you choose a suitable scale that can accommodate all the values. So we are having on x-axis, we are having values reading from 12 up to 32. Therefore, if I choose a simple scale of 10, of 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, etc. will be very much okay. On the other one, because it is having several numbers, that is running from 0.3042 all the way to 0.7797, 0.034042 to 0.7797. In this case, I would like to write this one in, that is times 10 raised to power negative 2. Therefore, I'll pick this one to be starting from 30 up to 77.9 times 10 raised to power negative 2. Therefore, this becomes 10 20 30 40 50 60 70 80. If you look at my points on the scale, then all my points will be accommodated. So we can go with at 32, at point 32 on x-axis, then we raise all the way up to point 77. We raise all the way up to 77. Therefore, this one becomes my 75, and this one becomes my 32. So 32 up to 77.9, that one can be translated to be 78. That one can be translated to 78, where you'll have a point that is here. Then I circle it. The second one is 28 against 72.7. 70, that is 28. My point 28 will be at this point. If this is 25, 26, 27, 28, 25, 26, 27, 28. That shows that I'll be at this part against 72, which is likely to be 73. So 71, 71, 72, 73. All that way to 28, all that way to 28. So this is 25, 26, 27, 28. So this one becomes my 28, and I circle that part. The next one is 24 on x-axis, 24 against 59, 24 against 59, 24 against 59. That becomes my point. The next one becomes 20 against 49, 20 against 49. This is 20 against 49. That is my next point. And from there, we have 16 against 40. 16 against 40. 16 against 40. This is 15, and this becomes 16. So 16. These are third point against 40. Then the last one is 12. This is 11, 12. 12 against 30. Make sure that all the points are feasible. I always encourage students to use the dot and a circle. The reason behind is because it has an added advantage in a manner that if the line of the graph touches it in a tangential manner on the circle, then that point is correctly drawn, or else it is part of the line. Therefore, after plotting, you move to the questions that will be asked. You move to the questions that will be asked. For example, the question that follows, part C, is asking Roman 1. Determine the slope S of the graph. And it is awarded 3 marks. Determine the slope S of the graph. This question is part and parcel of what is supposed to guide you on what the graph is supposed to look like. Then, now, we can now join these points together. You pick what we call the majority of the points to draw what we call the line of the best fit. In this manner, then my line is passing through the origin. My line is passing through the origin. That is at 0 in that manner. Then now, marking will be the axis while it is labeled the scale when it is suitable, plotting correctly plotted points, that is 2 marks. This one is 1 mark. This one is 1 mark. Then the last one, we have the line stroke the curve, but this case we are having a line, 1 mark. Then you'll have your 0.5 marks in that case. So remember, you are supposed not to forget on the on the y-axis, you label t squared times 10 raised to power -2. Therefore, the moment you want to calculate the gradient or the slope, you are not supposed to pick values from the table, because what is in the table is slightly variated when transferred into the graph. Therefore, I'll choose 2 points. I'll choose 2 points. That is these parts, and all the way to this part. Then I will indicate that I'll pick these values for my gradient calculation, like that. So this one is at 49. I'm just trying to explain. Don't write on the graph paper. That is, x is at 20 and the y is at 49 times 10 raised to power -2. Then this one, the second point, is at 10 and 25 times 10 raised to power -2, like that. Therefore, the moment I will be talking of calculate the slope, I'll say it is change in y over change in x. S is equals to, therefore, we have 49 minus 25 times 10 raised to power -2. Then you divide by 20 minus 10. So that I get 24 times 10 raised to power -2 divided by 10. This will bring unto us to 0.024. We must also figure out what were the units. On y-axis, we had s squared. On x-axis, we had centimeters. Therefore, if you have your units, then it will be a squared per centimeter. It is wrong to say 49 minus 25 out of 20 minus 10. Then you say 24, you multiply by 10 raised to power -2 over 10. We need to see u substituting the change in y, where on the y-axis we do have times 10 raised to power negative 2. So this one is wrong. Just note that. It is good to always identify, the units, because that is part of the competition of acquiring the marks. Now that we have calculated the gradient, we look at the next question. We are told obtain the value of k in the equation s is equals to 8 pi squared over 3k. Obtain the value of k in the equation s is equals to 8 pi over 3k. The first thing, substitute correctly without changing the equation first. Therefore, our slope, which is s, is 0.024 s per centimeter. We always know that we can always have pi from the calculator. Therefore, we are required to find k. Therefore, you first substitute that s is 0.024 s squared per centimeter. The reason why I'm writing even the units is because I want you to understand that k will also have its own units. Therefore, 8 pi over 3k. Now make k the substitute formula, which will say k is equals to 8 pi over 3 times 0.024. Remember now, these are now s squared per centimeter. Sorry, s squared per centimeter. So now the final answer will be 78.96. You correctly have 4SF. But what about the units? It is s squared. It is now down as a denominator. But because of the division, this per centimeter will come up, meaning that it will be now 78.96 centimeters per s squared, or centimeters s negative 2. This marks the end of that question. Even though I have several things to say. One, There's several things that I have to mention. As we wait for the next lesson or the next discussion, always have yourself with the geometrical sets, the calc, and sure you know the issue to do with equation of y is equals to mx plus c. See you tomorrow. Have a blessed evening. Thank you.